Have you ever felt that knot in your stomach when someone asks you what your plan is? That feeling that you're supposed to have it all figured out? Well, if you have, then you're in exactly the right place. We're going to flip that whole idea on its head and show you why being undecided might just be your greatest superpower.
Okay, so let's first just talk about the pressure, right? This feeling that you've got to pick a lane, and you've got to pick it, like yesterday. It's a huge anxiety for so many of us, and it all boils down to one single dreaded question. I'm guessing more than a few of you just cringed. Yeah, it's that question. You get asked it constantly, what you want to be, and the world expects this perfect straight-line answer. It's like society just wants to put everyone into these neat little boxes. And all that pressure really comes from this one classic idea. Society basically tells you to be a hedgehog, a specialist who knows one big thing really, really well and just sticks to that one thing. But what if you're not? What if you're a fox? You're curious about everything. You love art and also psychology. You're into tech and also social justice. You know a little bit about a lot of different things. So if you're that fox, if you can't just pick one thing, what does society call you? Unfocused, scattered, indecisive. But here's the thing, that label, it's just plain wrong.
So here it is, the big reframe. What everyone else sees as a lack of focus is actually a much more powerful way of seeing the world. It's called systemic thinking. And believe me, it is the single most valuable skill you can have in today's economy.
You see, this isn't some weakness you need to fix. It's a superpower you just need to learn how to use. Your ability to jump between interests, to connect different ideas, it gives you this incredible advantage that the specialists just, well, they don't have it. Let's put it this way. A specialist, the hedgehog, they see one tree, and they know absolutely everything about that one tree. But you, as a fox, you see the entire forest. You see how all the trees are connected to the soil and the climate, and even the people walking through it. You don't just see the individual parts, you see the whole system at play. Now, the goal isn't to just stay a curious fox forever. The goal is to evolve, to become what we call a foxhog. This is a hybrid. It's someone who has all the wide-ranging curiosity of the fox, but learns to channel it with the focused impact of the hedgehog. You become the person who can connect all the dots, because you're the only one in the room who can actually see them all. So what does a foxhog actually do in the real world? Well, a perfect example is this field called service design. And it's all about designing the architecture of human experiences. I want you to picture a hospital waiting room. We've all been there, right? And it's almost never a good experience. It's confusing, it's stressful, honestly, it can be downright scary. So how would different kinds of people try to fix this broken experience?
Okay, so a product designer, a specialist, they might focus on designing a more comfortable chair, which is nice. And a graphic designer, another specialist, might create a clearer sign to hang on the wall. Both are good ideas for sure, but they only fix one tiny piece of a much, much bigger problem.
But the systemic thinker, our foxhog, doesn't just try to make the waiting better. They step back and they ask a totally different question. Why are we waiting at all? They look at the whole system and challenge it to rethink the entire journey from the very beginning. And that right there is the heart of service design. It's about orchestrating everything, both the front stage, all the stuff the customer sees and touches, and the backstage, all the complicated stuff happening behind the scenes. It's about making it all work together as one seamless, positive experience.
So this way of thinking, it's not just a skill you learn. It's a completely different mindset. And it's a mindset that is perfectly built for a world that is getting less and less predictable by the day. See, most of us were taught something called causal logic. You pick a goal, you make a plan, and you march straight toward it. And that works fine in a world you can predict. But our world doesn't work like that anymore. The foxhog uses a different logic, one that entrepreneurs use. It's called effectuation. And it's not about predicting the future, it's about creating the future with the resources you have right now. And it really just comes down to two simple ideas. First is the bird-in-hand principle. Basically, start with what you've got, who you are, what you know, and who you know. That's your starting point. Second is the lemonade principle. You know the saying, when surprises happen, and they always will, don't freak out. See them as a chance to pivot and create something new, something unexpected. And here is the absolute key to all of this. What you've been calling indecisiveness your whole life, that is the heart of this mindset. It's flexibility. It's adaptability. While the specialists might panic when their industry gets turned upside down, you know how to pivot. You know how to learn. This way of thinking makes you, for real, future-proof. So what do you become when you really lean into this? You stop trying to fit into one little box. You become something so much more interesting and powerful, an X-shaped creative.
So what does that mean? It means you build deep skills across 4 connected areas. You learn performance, how to actually lead teams and make things happen. You learn design, how to make ideas visible and tangible. You learn service theory, so you understand the business and economic side of things. And you learn communication, how to tell a powerful story that ties it all together. When you do this, you become the most essential person in the room. You're the translator, the one who can speak human to the engineers and tech to the artists. You stop being the unfocused person and you start being the orchestrator of the entire system.
So if you don't fit into a single box, please stop trying. Your ability to see everything at once, to connect all these different ideas, that isn't a weakness. It's the logic of the future, and we need you to come help us design it.